That's right.
We're back.
I know. It's been a long, lonely, quiet few weeks from the podcast club.
Yes.
Gang is back.
We're back.
Hope you enjoyed the silence while it lasted.
Yeah. And that was our gift to you, quite frankly.
You're welcome.
It's actually Canadian Thanksgiving, so there you go. None of us are Canadian, but
That's our gift to you. Yeah.
But we celebrate it.
that's right.
That's right.
Any opportunity to give thanks. That's
And eat turkey.
yeah. I don't know if they eat
Here, here.
turkey.
Cheers to that.
I think they
Nice.
do. I saw a Canadian friend post about turkey, so I'll take his word for it.
That's good. So what's up, y'all? Man, it's good to be back. It's good to see y'all's faces.
Yes.
Club is back.
Yes.
Club is back.
It's been too long. I've missed seeing and just spending time with you guys.
I know, me too, man. It's been a, it's been a rough, month or so, right? Life, pandemic, death, taxes.
All of it.
All of it.
Cheers. Hair loss, I'm losing all my hair, whatever, man. Pretty soon I'm gonna be that super cool bald chick on the podcast club.
You like-
Oh, well, look, we'll see. So this is ironic because Marcus and I will soon share more than just a birthday. Apparently, We
Right, that's
will,
right.
you know,
Share hairstyle too.
just- Yeah, great. Can't wait. Yeah,
But exciting things are happening too.
for
Yes.
sure. So many exciting things, actually.
Yes.
Let's jump into it. Let's catch up on the world. What's up? What's the latest?
Well, all kinds of cool stuff is actually happening in the podcasting world. So it's interesting to see a lot of innovation. I did notice that Brian Barletta is now offering his podcast in Spanish through some new app
Espanol.
that converts content into different languages. So
The actual audio?
yes.
Yeah.
So we'll
It's a robot.
It's a robot?
Yes.
Shit, man.
and be like, hola, como
Goddamn
estas?
robots.
I'm super curious to know if it's going to have like a good accent, like,
He sent me a file and it actually sounds it sounds like him and it sounds almost human. Like it sounds eerily like if he hadn't told me if it was a robot, I would have been like, he sounds kind of robotish, but it's not like what you think of as like the robot voice. It actually
but it's his,
like the intonation.
but it's his voice.
Yeah, they like sampled his voice and then input the text in Spanish and it just spits out audio that sounds like it has intonations and
I have
cadences.
several questions about this.
Okay.
Yes, me too.
But maybe it's better served for Brian Barletta because
Right.
this is all pontification at this point. But does it get the translation right? Like, is it conversational Spanish or is it going to do like Google Translates and like
Yeah.
do you wrong and like
Right.
tell you that you're saying the wrong thing?
Right.
That's
I
question
think
one.
they input the Spanish text. So that's the thing. Like he has somebody translate the text of his and then they input the text and then it reads the actual proper Spanish. It's not
So
like
someone
translating.
else translates it.
Yes.
That
So
is a
it's just-
human?
Yes, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the human translates.
And then must you... So a robot reads words.
Yep.
Do you need to edit? Does it need a Marcus treatment on the audio file?
Nope. It does not. Everything's optimized, so you can take the audio
Because the
file.
robot's that good? Because the robot has good mic technique?
That's right.
Yeah, the robot
has
doesn't-
good mic
And there's no
Buy a
room sound because
Yeti.
they're nowhere because they're
Right.
robots.
They're in the machine. It goes to the
Hold
machine.
on, I need to like roll a joint for that one.
Shit, man.
Golly.
You're saying
gonna
that we
be
could all
putting
just
me
like
out of a
we could all
job.
have like a text conversation and then just send it to this robot and the robot will talk like all of us?
That is the future.
Just think
of
about how much
podcasting.
funnier I could be if I could like, prepare. So what I'm thinking is, and I mean, I've spent a decent amount of time translating my thoughts into Spanish for Tinder now that I live in Central America. And let me tell you, Google Translate has really messed me up a couple times. So yeah. And there's so many different dialects of Spanish. So like,
Yes.
it depends on where you are. It could even depend on where you are in a specific country.
Yep.
Never mind the country itself. So like, I don't. Yeah, I have my doubts. However, I think it's super rad because I mean, English represents like 5% of the world's language. Like, it's so it's so entitled to just have all this content in English and not in other languages. It's like assuming it's what everybody needs. It's like, no, man, we're the minority here. Like every podcast should be available in all languages. And how cool would it be if things could really get to that point, you know? I mean, if you build up enough of a database with AI.
Yeah. That's where we're going.
You're on the way.
Because nobody wants to hear me do anything in Spanish. I tell you that much.
Yeah, not me either. Well, I'm getting close though. Muy cerca.
It won't need to be us. So we'll see.
Muy cerca.
Yeah.
Sí.
Time will tell.
Sí.
See.
Paso tiempo.
Por supuesto.
I don't think that's right. Por supuesto. Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to say the like random phrases that I think I know. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'm all for that. Democratization of information, man. That's a really solid way of getting that done for sure.
Yep. Knocking down barriers, podcasting.
Boom. Starting with
Continues to do the job.
Old Brian B leading the charge. I'm here for that.
That's it.
That's right.
Killing it. And yeah, man, She Podcast is this week, so super excited. Leaving for that in like less than 48 hours. So
wow,
wish me luck.
Jealous. I can't go.
Yeah, man, I think it's gonna be really good. I'm excited to like meet a bunch of women there and soak up all that feminine energy and just like enjoy that time, hang out with some moms. You know, I'm here for it.
Pod moms.
You know, I think almost all podcasters are moms on some level. You know what I mean? Like, for the most part. That's a pretty random statement to make.
Interesting
but like,
stat.
If you put it's like if you put not even podcasters, but like if you put like 500 women in one place.
Yeah.
You know, at a paid convention, it's gonna be less younger people. There's gonna be a solid percentage of moms in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
Like moms.
MomCon.
MomCon for sure. Like
mom podcasts.
Yeah. Wait.
Momcasts.
Yeah, I'm gonna just leave that one alone. But yeah, so I'm excited about it. I think it'll be really good. You know what I mean? It's been a rough month, like with the mom stuff, right? So I'm kind of excited to just go. It'll be my birthday while I'm there, and I'm just gonna hang out, man. You know what I mean? And hang out with women, and I'm doing a little meetup there about podcast businesses, and I'm excited about my presentation.
Too, right?
Yep. Excited about my presentation. Yep. Imposter syndrome isn't real. I'm actually more excited about this presentation than any other presentation I've ever done before.
That's gonna be awesome.
That's the way it should go.
I got that going for me. So I got to go to a mall when I get there because all I own are t-shirts and jean shorts.
Because you live in Costa Rica.
And two pairs of sneakers and one pair of flip-flops. It's literally every article of clothing I own. And so I'm going to have to go to a shopping mall. After living in a third world country, it's like, you know, it's going to just feel so fucking weird to be in a shopping mall, honestly, but whatever. I'm excited. It'll be cool. Scottsdale, here I come, you know?
And you got a lot to like, you know, put out there because you got new shit working.
I do, man. Super pumped. Rolled out the new website today, heartcastmedia.com and mollyroland.com. It is officially live. Yep. So all the lead magnets and everything will be in place by the end of the day. So by the time anybody hears this, we will be rocking and rolling. And yeah, man, I hired like an SEO expert and like I had like hired a professional content writer and I hired like an email management person and like I'm doing the thing, man. I'm going for it. Going all the way.
So I'm sure we'll dive into this in like future episodes, but like what drew you to this point? Like what's the big picture here?
Well, the big picture is just offering a more well-rounded service. So now we have two different offers. So if you don't have a marketing team or if you do. And so if you don't, we'll do everything. You know, we'll set you up. It's a monthly retainer. So you can do 1, 2, or 4 episodes a month, depending on what you want. And we'll do everything. So you can either self-record or we'll run your session, which is actually really valuable because a lot of people are having a hard time scheduling. And so maybe someone's like, hey, I'm running 30 minutes late. Well, if they're on our studio calendar, we can't really do that, right? But if the guest can if the client can self-record, it makes it so much easier for them, right? So it's a monthly program. If you don't want to self-record, Matt will run your sessions. It's totally up to them. We'll edit, do everything that we've been doing, upload it to your RSS feed, upload it to YouTube. But what we're offering now is also a blog post, a post on LinkedIn, like an article on LinkedIn, an article on Medium and social media for the month, whether you do 1, 2, or 4 episodes a month. So it's full boat. It's strategy, it's the production, and it's the amplification, which I believe are the 3 pillars of any branded podcast.
Yes.
Did you find that in the clients that you were already servicing, that these were kind of like the buckets that ended up needing to be filled? Is that what brought this on?
Well, it's a couple of different things. I lost a client, one of my best clients, right? And so I had a meeting with her to be like, okay, why did I lose you? What happened, right? And it was just simply that she doesn't have a marketing team, and so it wasn't getting done. And she had a friend who recommended somebody who does everything in one. And that was the only reason why. She credits, everything good about the podcast to us. She loves us, all of that. But she was just like, I don't have the bandwidth to do all this. And then she told me where the holes were in what we were doing. So I was able to immediately make some changes, look at the competitor, what they were doing, and just kind of like, it sort of snapped me out of it. It's like I made so many advances with the business and our offers, and then I've just been sort of stagnant for a while. And a lot of our clients are like recording all willy-nilly, and ain't nobody's podcast going to be successful if you're recording all willy-nilly. That's not how this works. And I don't want to be a passion podcast producer. I am a branded podcast producer. And so you have to commit. And you got to commit for at least 3 months. But what I'm offering is a 90-day, 100% money back guarantee on the bi-weekly or weekly, monthly package, that in 90 days, if you don't see a result, a direct result from the podcast in your business, I will refund all of your money back. Which is
That's it.
$12K. By the way,
no one can say no to that.
Yeah.
No one can say no to this. And what I'm doing differently is changing my startup, like the Works package, to include a package straight from Podcast Outfitters with a brand new mic and headphones and a mic stand.
What?
I'm offering 3 months of focus sessions. So for the first 3 months, you get a 90-minute session with me once a month. And we are going to dial in on the goalpost. What is the goal of this podcast? What does success look like? Who are you trying to target? What to expect? What are the milestones? What are the timelines? And then, another focus session month 2 and another focus session month 3. So in that time, if you're doing a weekly podcast, you will have gotten 12 LinkedIn articles, 12 Medium posts, 12 blog posts, 12 podcast episodes, 12 YouTube videos, 12 social share videos, a month's worth of social media, which is like 12 of this, 12 of that, right? You know what I mean? It's this mountain of content, and you've gotten 90 minutes with me. So at the end of those 3 months, if you haven't seen a result from your podcast and you feel like you haven't gotten value, you're just a fucking asshole.
You did it wrong, right?
You know what I mean? I don't even know what to tell you.
Point.
Like, there's just no way. There's no way.
That is the recipe. Yeah.
And I stand behind that 100%. Like, no one else is offering that guarantee, and like, no one does the product. Like, no one has 20 years of actual experience coming to the table.
That's baller.
Right?
Yes.
No one, like, that's what's different, And I'm an artist, so our content looks better than everybody else's. I'm very particular about aesthetic, whether it's mine or my clients. This shit needs to look good, and just really training people more on, the follow-up, the halo marketing, the second touch point, the third touch point. Why did you have that guest on there? You need to have a reason why. That can't just be, we're not talking about building an audience as a podcaster. We're talking about a branded podcast that is specifically designed for business development and creating strategic relationships. That's what people hire me for. Not to become new and noteworthy on iTunes.
Right.
Yep.
And so just giving people the templates and the checklists and the scripts and just the confidence, because they're going to meet with me for 90 minutes once a month. Right? So they'll know exactly where they're going. They have access to the team. They have this amazing Trello board that's easy to navigate with all these scripts, templates, a microphone. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make it so easy for them and make the offer so good that it's impossible to say no. So there we are.
Success is imminent. That's just
right. I can't wait to see where this goes, man. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait to talk about it more on the show, too, as time
Me too.
goes by.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm pumped.
Awesome.
And I got to tell you, I owe it all to 2 books. Well, I can't. That's a little dramatic. I owe it all to like 20 fucking years
20
of
years
work
of-
and all the
years
people
of
and you guys.
dedication and crafting the shit.
But I'd like to thank the Academy.
But also 2 books.
You know, the 2 books. Okay. $100 million offers by Alex Hermosie.
Okay.
Make your offer so good they'd be insane to turn it up. Never discount your products. Only offer bonuses.
Yes.
Create a guarantee that's so good people can't refuse, but price your product above everyone else
Right.
and then over deliver.
That's the key.
You know? So yeah,
So it's not just getting money's worth. It's
right.
blowing people's minds.
It's going to cost you $4,500 a month to do a 60-minute weekly podcast with us, but you couldn't hire somebody for $50,000 a year to do all of that for you. Record, edit a podcast, do social media. No, any business that understands marketing is going to understand how valuable that is.
Yep.
That's a team of people.
That's a team of people. 6 of us to be
That's
exact.
the scale of doing it the way you're doing it. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see what happens.
I'm super pumped about it, man. So $100 million offers. And then the other book that I read is called Get Different. And it's Mike Michalowicz. He's the guy that wrote Profit First.
Okay.
And he talks about how you got to be a red suit in a sea of gray suits. And
Yes,
how
I've
you
heard
have
that
to
quote.
market yourself differently. And he talks about you have to like find what's unique about you. I'm like, well, that's a no-brainer for me, my dumb ass, and just everything about me. I don't have to concoct some personality, right? I don't have to start wearing like a wig or something to like,
You
know?
couldn't blend in if you tried.
Yeah, right. Like it's like, you know, this sailor's mouth that I was gifted from my crazy Aunt Fiona. But anyway, the point is, he's like, you got to stand out, and then your marketing should be different. Everybody in your industry is creating ads that sound the same, and so they all sound the same. Everybody's duplicating each other, you know? And I'm like, God, he's right. And so he's like, you have to really lead with your personality and what's different, and your marketing just has to be really different. And so when I come back from She Podcast, all my marketing is going to be like, if your podcast advisor told you to buy a Yeti, fire him and call me instead. I'm going to, like, all my marketing is going to be ridiculous. Like, tired of being mansplained, like, join the club, you know? Like, like I'm just going to go hard. Like, everything
You're
that
gonna
these
say-
guys say about podcasting is wrong. Talk to the
You're
real
gonna say
expert.
everything that everybody's been thinking.
I'm just going
But
to,
you're the only
can't
one brave
wait.
enough to say it.
yeah, I'm just going to be the person I
Can't wait
am.
to get served these ads.
Right, because they're gonna right. They're gonna stand out. They're gonna
They're
make you
gonna
laugh.
rock.
They're gonna make, and then you're gonna come to my website, and you're gonna go, oh man, this is legit. She's producing for DC government and NATO and Department of Health, and like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like she's doing it. Like
Take my money.
I take my
Yeah.
money, right? And I'm gonna deliver amazing results because I'm gonna be there every step of the way, and we're gonna do our focus sessions, and we're gonna deliver top-notch quality content. And I get to train. You know, I'm partnering with these 2 young women who own a marketing agency called Twin Flames. 2 twin. I keep wanting to call them girls, but they're not girls. They're just younger than me. So like, but they're not kids by any stretch. But I'm getting to like help and mentor them in their business and build systems for them. So they, you know, I'm pumped about all of it. There's just so many positive things around it. So I'm excited to come back from She Podcast and just really like go on a bunch of podcasts and really start spreading the word about what we're doing.
And we're going to be putting this podcast kind of through that process. So this is going to be
Exactly.
a great, you know, model to see, you know, if you like what we're doing and you like what we're spitting out, that's it.
We can do it for you too.
That's it.
And I want to talk about all this stuff as we do it too, like because
Yeah.
that's what we podcasters need to be doing. They kind of see the peek behind the curtain type thing,
Agreed.
how the
what
sausage
it
is
is.
made.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not comfortable with that. It's like how the sausage is made. It's like when people are like, "This isn't your first rodeo." I'm like, "What the fuck are you trying to say, man?" Like, I look like a rodeo bull. Like I don't. First of all, who's going to rodeos? Like, it's such an obscure reference. Like, what are we doing? But yes, you can see how the sausage is made. If that doesn't make you uncomfortable,
I like sausage.
I do too.
Nothing wrong with that.
I do too.
Well, in the podcast gear world, it's been a dark time for most of the year just because it's been tough to get products and nothing new has been coming. but some boats arrived and some new gear has showed up.
Oh, snap.
And I think there's even more coming out the rest of this year, so we're going to see. But some pretty exciting things came out in the last month.
Nice. Let's
one I'm using. This isn't new, but I'm trying to. You have not knocked my microphone once this session, so I take that as a major kudos to the microphone that I am attempting to use during this podcast. This is the Apogee Hype Mic, which is a USB microphone that Marcus would know the name. Probably the only person in podcast world that would actually know the name.
Yeah,
but Apogee is like pinnacle level shit in the world of audio recording, and they made a pretty banging USB microphone that has a compressor built in, so hopefully I'm not really distorting and sounding terrible. I hope that is the case. I'm hearing myself fine. But it has a built-in compressor, so it actually should be kind of maintaining the volume and making sure that everything sounds awesome. It's a little in this the acoustically worst room ever to do a podcast in, which is just a hard wood box that I'm sitting in right now.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it's not atrocious. That's why I'm so close to the microphone.
Atrocious.
Well, and I was going to say, like, the microphone sounds good, but with you and being that close is good, except the plosives. The plosives are killing us.
The plosives.
So keep the
and since you
T's
can't
down.
hear yourself,
we'll have to work on that. I'll try to manage my
pop filter.
My plosives.
If you move it down, like by your chin,
my plosives.
There you go.
My plosives. All right, we're managing the plosives now.
Thank
plosives.
You. Sausage being made right here, people.
Sausage is being made right now.
Squeezing through the tubes. Here it goes.
Another new product that came out, which is pretty cool, because Molly's kind of using the big brother to this one, and Mark's using the bigger brother, bigger sister, however you want to play it, to this.
Sibling.
The sibling. Non-gender specific
cousin.
sibling. This is the Shure Mv7x, which is the XLR only version of the MV7.
Oh.
Which is what Molly has, which is the hybrid, and is the descendant of the SM7B, which is what Marcus is using.
Yes.
So if you like how Molly sounds, and you like the vibe that Marcus is putting out, the MV7X is a more affordable version of the MV7. So no USB, just XLR. But if you're going to rock a Rodecaster or a Zoom recorder or any other sort of function where you're going to do two people in one space, and you're not going to do the whole USB mic game, MV7X is where it's at. And it's $70 cheaper.
Right.
That's significant.
Pretty good deal. You know, you're talking 30% cheaper. Strips out all the bells and whistles that you don't need and just gives you like a super solid sounding microphone that is still one of the few that are specifically made for podcasting.
Right.
So it literally says that it is a podcast microphone. It's not like a mic that says it's for broadcast and podcast and streaming and this and this and this. It's podcast mic. So it sounds the way you're supposed to. So if you got multiple people in one space, try to do something cool.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Very nice.
And that price point is the killer thing, but also the simplicity factor. And I haven't been able to compare. I have an MV7 USB, not the X yet, but I did see a video by Bandrew Scott, who claims that the XLR on the MV7X sounds better than the XLR output of the MV7 USB. And I could hear a little difference. It's weird. Like, I don't know why. And he's kind of like, why is this different? Because it should be just the same, but I guess that circuitry that's involved.
I was going to say, I could make a nerdy excuse for why that might sound different.
Yeah.
Take a swing at it. Let's see. We can ask. I'm going to see Laura later this week. I can confirm or deny.
All right. Well, so you'll confirm next time. But I would imagine, just like anything else, like any other microphone, as long as you change one thing in a circuit path, like you could change everything. Like it could be you change the wire.
Yeah.
The way the wire is wound around something else that changes the impedance of it and it totally could change everything. So
where the metal is sourced from.
All of it. So by removing components, by removing metal, by removing other things that are living inside of that microphone that it has to take the mic and split it and then do things and convert it. And there's all these things sitting in the way. The MV7X, you just have pristine microphone diaphragm to XLR output into whatever you're doing. So I could imagine it being a better sound. There's a reason why there's no SM7B with a US, you know what I mean? Like it has that sound. You know, they could have just done that and stuck a USB in and it would have been whatever, but maybe it didn't sound quite right, you know? So there's definitely something to be said for less is more.
Yep.
And I could definitely see where that could impact the sound.
And that said, the USB part of the regular MV7 is totally worth the money, though, because of what it does.
Totally. Totally.
The app is amazing. The compression, the EQ, all the stuff you have. It's
the MV7?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the regular one like you have.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still reigning supreme in the world of USB microphones for sure.
This is what I'm going to send people.
It's easy.
The MV7, cool.
Especially if you're doing something like on Riverside or anything else like that. Like, it's just super, super easy.
Super easy. And I did notice on Podcast Outfitters that you have and we'll link to this in the show notes for sure. You have this on the Manfrotto tripod.
Yep. So they have a bundle that comes with the little Pixie tripod.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they, so there's all which ways of doing it.
Which I like. I think that might be a little more obtainable than a boom arm, even though I prefer the boom arm, but a boom arm is a little intimidating, and then people always set it up the wrong way.
Yep.
Or some sort of a table stand, and then like little earbuds, and the MV7. And I know I could go cheaper, but like, you know what? This is an impressive microphone to get, and people will remember me forever.
That's right. Totally.
It's a good way to start.
Yeah.
The last thing that came out, which is appropriately timed for the podcast world, is a product that I wasn't initially too hot on when I first saw it. I didn't quite get it, but getting my hands on this thing, I get it, and it's awesome. This is the Tascam Mix Cast 4, which is, there's no dancing around this thing. It's a dead clone of the Rode Rodecaster. I don't think anyone would be offended by me saying so, because you'd be blind. You'd have to be blind to not see that that's the case.
Yeah.
But they did a great job. It's metal. The thing is dense. Like, it feels like a real piece of kit. The power supply is better, which I just think is like each just
power is very important.
It's built in. You don't have to have this giant brick and this other thing and this other thing.
Yeah.
Just easy. But it does the same stuff. Same thing. 4 mic inputs, USB channel, wired phone channel, Bluetooth channel, sound recording, touch screen, all the sound pads, all the same headphone outs, big ass record button. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. And I think that it's at a time when getting product is tough and you don't want to cut corners, you don't want to get something that's lesser than what you'd like to use. The world is still waiting for the next Rodecaster boat to come in from Australia.
So they're just not available right now.
Not available right now. Mixcast came in at the right time, and I would have no qualms. In fact, I've already done a couple this week. Someone wants Rodecaster, don't got it. They got this thing, and it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. It's
Works exactly the same.
Phenomenal piece of kit.
And how much is it?
$599, same price. Same price as a Rodecaster. So really coming in hot, and it comes with the one nuanced piece to it that is slightly different than the Rodecasters. It comes with companion software.
So you
Speaking
can do
of
firmware
which,
updates and
dedicated for podcasting, which takes us to Marcus.
Yes. So I have seen some podcasters like, yay, another cool free DAW, which is fantastic. I'm all about having more free software. However, lay
it on. Let's go
and
there, Marcus.
I love Tascam. I've been, growing up in the studio world, we use Tascam tape machines and DAT players and ADATs, and Tascam is a great brand, but they make hardware. They don't make software. So, but I tried to give this thing a chance. I installed it this afternoon right before we got on, loaded up, start a new session, click to open the session, crash. tried, adjusting some settings, restart my computer, same thing, crash. Now, I am on an M1 Mac, so they are probably not, I almost guarantee they're not supporting the new Apple chips, so that's the problem. But if you have a PC or an Intel Mac, then you're probably fine. Or even, I don't know if they run Linux, or I don't think they do Linux, but it runs on an iPad too. Like you can. That's the other cool thing, is you can run it from your iPad. Which can you do that with the Rodecaster Pro?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so that's pretty killer.
PreSonus with your iPad.
Yes, you can. So
yes, you can.
Speaking of PreSonus,
one more thing on the Tascam before we move on. The one other cool thing, just the same. It's basically the same as a Rodecaster, but the potential for a product like this and a Rodecaster versus something like a Zoom recorder is that they're so software based, both on the hardware piece and the program that you're talking about. It's easy enough to make it better, right?
Yeah,
it's not like it's one and done. It's not like, this X, Y, or Z recorder just is fine. That's not going to get any better. The components aren't going to get better.
Right.
The way it records isn't going to get better. With a product like this, it can get dramatically better with a simple update, which, being that this is the first shipment that has hit the States, it's just bound to get better. Like, they're going to get the same way Rode did, where they got tons and tons of users telling them what they needed to do, and every couple of months they just crank out exactly what the people want. And as long as Tascam, obviously they listen to the market. Now they got to listen to the actual users, and build something that. And they have an ecosystem where Rode kind of stops at the computer for now. Tascam is trying to finish it a little bit more. So I like that it went that far. I like that they're taking it not just from record this thing to an SD card and dump it later. They're taking it into the DAW so that maybe there's going to be some better potential for deeper integration. To make this a better flow for anyone recording a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I love the fact that they built this DAW from the ground up specifically for podcasters. That's the big sell, and I can't wait to see. I'm going to try it on my old Mac that is not an M1 chip, and because I've seen other people run it. I almost guarantee you it's this new Apple chip that everybody's still trying to update. Their software for. Theirs just happens to not even open at all on my machine.
Well, and I really like what you said too. Like, I feel, who knows, like, especially with this supply chain thing, like, they might be the only gig in town. They might sell $1 million worth of these things, and then they could put all that into development and just like run laps around people, right? Like, maybe this is Tascam's opportunity to become a software and hardware company.
Yeah.
Like,
crazier things happen.
Right?
So
Who knows?
Well, Molly,
week one, so...
You brought up PreSonus. That's exactly what PreSonus is doing, because Studio One is actually my number one recommendation for free software entry level. Yes, because
last year you said it was Reaper, because I still think
I
about
know, but I changed my opinion because there's new software always coming out, so it's probably going to change again. But Studio One is killing it, and PreSonus also was just a hardware company. 5 years ago, even. I think Studio One's been out for a little bit longer than that, but they're
not that much longer though.
Yeah, but it's one of the newest DAWs, and they are killing it. And with usability, it's made for musicians, so it's not perfect for podcasters, but it as free software, it's super powerful.
It's cool.
It's awesome.
What's happening in Marcus's world? What's happening in the world of editing and podcast recording, Marcus?
Yeah.
That was pretty much it. I'm still churning away, trying to make my content for Podcast Audio Lab. I keep changing and tweaking my focus and who I'm going after, but I'll have more to report back in future episodes of the Podcast Club. So
can't wait.
Hey, Marcus, have you ever read the book by Donald? Somebody it's called "Building a Story Brand"?
Yes, Donald Miller.
Donald Miller. Yeah.
Yes.
He
lives
like
here in Nashville.
I feel like that's a really good book. Oh, you should read it. You should totally read it, man.
My wife has read it and filled me in on key parts, and she's the strategist out of the two of us. So, and she's the reader also. I don't read anymore since I don't travel on planes.
Jesus, Marcus. That's the only time of year you read?
Yeah, that was when I was touring.
Right.
I would only read like when I was traveling.
It's okay. I didn't read for like 20 years, so I can't talk shit to anybody.
I read like tutorials and like I do tech research stuff now. Like that's how I watch YouTube videos. I read websites. I read manuals. Like that's the kind of stuff that I read.
You're like, honey, look, page 27F-79E says.
The noise floor on this should not be this high.
Of course.
No, but Jen is definitely familiar with Donald Miller, and a lot of my friends are. We actually signed up for one of his story brand courses, and I watched some of the videos and stuff. He's awesome. So yes, I need to crack that thing open. We have it.
Check out $100 Million Offers by Alex Hermosie for sure.
Definitely,
for sure. And it's like a 3.5. Jesus.
Careful.
It's like a 4-hour book. So Mark, Adam, you should watch it too, or listen to it too. Read it, whatever your jam is. But,
I'll listen to it.
But on Audible, it's like less than 4 hours. So especially if you speed it up, like you can crank through that jobby over the weekend, and like it will fill your
Is that
head.
the pro move? Speed it up.
Oh, 100%,
Yes.
man. 1.4.
You know what?
I can hear normal speed.
I edit at 1.75.
You're insane, dude.
Yes. And that's the only reason I can't use Studio One is they don't have an easy way for me to toggle back and forth between
You're like
regular.
Alvin,
brand new
Simon,
information.
Theodore. That's the Chipmunks, by the way.
But I'll
We're gonna have
demonstrate
to get
it in
into
an
that.
upcoming episode.
And we're gonna have to get into that because I did not know that. That is new information. I did not even know that was a thing.
Yep.
That's your
Learned
next
something new
segment.
today.
Same thing with YouTube
Deal breaker
videos.
for
You can
me.
change the playback speed. So if you're watching like a tutorial about like how to turn your camera in a webcam or some shit, and,
Yep.
you skip through the 5 minutes of them being like, subscribe to my channel, and then you speed it up to like 1.5, and you're like, let's get this show on the road, Tom. Okay.
Yep.
Damn.
Give me what
I'm
I
here
came
living a
here for.
1x world when I should be living 1.75x world.
Dude. Yeah, I mean,
Shit.
I think Tom Bilyeu listens to podcasts and books at like 2.0.
2.3.
But
there was some, yeah.
I'm like, all right, you're
So you just get osmosis.
This is just
it's just in your brain. You got to dig it out later.
Yeah,
That's right.
And
it's like speed reading.
which
You're not
for
really
me
catching all the
means
words.
bye birdie. Like that shit's never
All right,
coming back.
I'm gonna try
you know
it.
what I mean?
I'm gonna try that shit out.
But
Yeah.
like at first I started like 1.3, and then now I'm up to like 1.4. It also depends. Most people are kind of slow talkers, honestly. You know what I mean? Especially
Yes.
on audiobook. So for me, it's an
Yes.
attention thing. You know, I come from, my mom's from Brooklyn, my dad's from the Bronx. So like I come from a bunch of fast talkers. So if you don't talk fast enough, I get super easily distracted. So for me, it's like an ADD like wrangler just to keep them talking fast.
Yep.
And then when I realized, man, I can crank through, like if you think like an average book is like 8 hours, right? If you listen to it at 1.3 or 1.4, now it's like a 5.5 hour book, you know? And then so you're like, okay, well, I commute an hour every day. So if you listen to it on your commute, you can get through a book a week. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like you can get so much knowledge reading a book a week that like by the end of the month, you'll have some serious gems. I mean, reading those books just like, it kicked my brain back into overdrive. I was like, of course, this makes so much sense. All the things I just rattled off to you. You're like, yep, done, right? Like, but sometimes you just need someone else to say those things to you in a different way or just reassure you, you
Remind.
know, that what you're
Yep.
thinking is the right thing. But that's totally the life hack. So even if you're going to like get in the car for an hour, man, if you listen to $100 Million Offers at 1.4, just going there and back will get you like 75% through the book.
That's it.
And it's
I'll
like
definitely do that on next road trip.
I'm gonna have
that's
to
the
dive
best
into this.
2 hours you've fucking spent all week. I guarantee you that much. You know what I mean?
Whole
Yeah.
new game.
Dude, it seriously, it's like a race, it's like a competition for me to like see how quickly I can get through books, but also still like I actively listen. I don't like type and do other shit. I like listen, and if I wander, I just rewind it, you know. And so now I can focus for a lot longer periods. But yeah, when I cook dinner, I listen to it. When I'm like working out and just doing reps or like PT stretches on the floor in the living room, I'll turn an audiobook on. You know, if I'm gonna do 30 minutes worth of stretching, like, dude,
Yeah.
It's knowledge right there.
it's a couple chapters, you know?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I need to start doing that. I also need to start exercising, so that might also
It's a
be
good 2-for-1, man.
Two gems right
that's
there.
how I'm getting
Two
these
gems right there for you,
guns.
Marcus.
You know what I'm saying?
two birds, one stone.
Yeah,
Well, I feel like I learned a lot already in this episode, and we just cranked this shit out. So
that's amazing.
right.
that was Oh, pretty awesome.
This is a great
back.
episode. And I feel
We're
like
back.
We're back.
We're back, people. We're back. Get ready for it.
That's right.
Get ready for some serious action.
That's right. We are back. We're so back that we're going to see you next week.
That's right.
Podcast Club out.